Hey, listen, y'all, listen.
Hey, we are back. We are back. We are back. Listen.
Woo, season two, season two. Who'da thunk? I can't even use proper English on that one. Who'da thunk?
How did we get to season one, more or less season two? How did this happen?
I don't know. Obedience. Everything gets chalked up to obedience in this
There's
season.
that.
Just
There's,
obedience.
absolutely. There is that. Well, welcome to the Listen and it's Listen with Tania and Win. If you are not familiar with this show, well, hang tight with us. This is season two. You are going to be blessed and inspired. And Tania, just kick us off. Bring us back.
Woo. Okay, so I'm Tania Briscoe Easterling. I am blessed to be the cousin sister to my co-host. Let me make sure I'm pointing the right way. My co-host, Win Briscoe. Our dads are identical twins. And truly, we are just once again being obedient on a word from the Lord to do this show and to be transparent and to be real and to be relevant. So, simply
Ooh,
put, we are on a mission from God to listen.
there's that. I love it. I love it. For those of you that don't know me, I am Win Briscoe and I am Tania's sister cousin. As she said, our dads are identical twins. And so we are just here on Tuesday nights to just bring you the live. And if you're watching this on the replay, please let us know in the chat as well, in the comments. So please, please, please hang tight with us. You're going to be blessed each week with each topic for sure.
Yep, yep. Thank you so much for all of the listener love. We have so appreciated it, especially all throughout season one and gracing us to take a little break over the summer
Whew,
just so that we could recoup.
much needed. It was so needed.
Much needed after 16 weeks. But
Mm.
we are ready back this season. We are ready. We are ready. And so if you haven't already, make sure that you like our page, make sure your notifications are set and on. That means the little Facebook thumbs up thing is bolded, right? And you've got the little bell also highlighted. That way you know every single time we go live because this season you won't want to miss an episode of this season.
My goodness. If you thought last season was on point, and for those of you that are just joining us for season two, please go back. It's on the page.
Yeah.
The videos are still up. We don't know how long they're going to stay, but there's 16 amazing episodes that are up there, and each one a different topic. And I'm telling you, each one you're going to be like, "Is she talking to me? How does she even know that this was you all up in my mix?" Trust me. Watch all 16.
Yeah. So last season we kicked it off with every topic for each week started with the letter F, as in Frank F. And
Right.
so we, as of right now, are continuing that because God didn't tell us to change, did He, Win?
He did not. He did not. So you're going to have an amazing topic each week, starting with the letter F. And oh my goodness, tonight, honey.
I'm ready. I got my pregnant pause sip. I'm ready.
So y'all, if y'all don't know our little mannerisms, we do take pauses on purpose. It's not our internet connection.
No.
It will be just a pause because sometimes you just got to sit in it. So tonight we're gonna sit in this tonight. Tonight is on forward, and tonight I'm gonna just take another deep breath. It's gonna be about 20 deep breaths in this episode for me, personally, okay, on this topic. So Tania is definitely gonna have to help a sister because by the end of the episode, I promise I hope not to be using my tissues and I probably might be sipping a little bit more, but I'm gonna tell you, it's gonna bless you for sure. Kick off forward, Tania. Bring it on forward.
So it's so, I don't like to use the word ironic. It is so timely because I honestly feel like in this season, in this year, like this year has gone by so fast. Like we're already in October. Like the end of this week will be the middle of October, right? But in all of that, it's making that consistent decision to keep moving forward with God,
Mm,
with His Word, with our choices and what He tells us to do, right?
right.
And recognizing that that's all that matters right now is, am I moving forward on
Yeah.
what God told me to do?
Yeah.
All HE double hockey sticks is breaking loose all around me, all around,
Woo.
all around. I don't know about on the East Coast, but I can speak for down here
Listen.
in Texas, all around,
Listen.
right? But am I going to be like the horse? And am I
Come
going to put
on.
my blinders on and I'm only facing forward? This is up. This I can't look. Oh, I
Mm,
can't look to the left or the right
mm.
because if I focus on the hot mess, I'll be
Mm.
stuck. So that's where we at tonight. And it's of course
Girl.
perfect timing because here we are in season 2, right? And God's command to tell us to move
Mm.
forward with another season. You want to talk about that? Let's talk about that.
Command to do another season and to do it on Tuesday nights. And we're going to do it late nights so people catch us more, right? But we love you anyway if you're catching us on the replay. But let
Oh
me
yeah.
tell you, this new season of Forward, I'm just going to say, please, 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 please don't circumvent your season of Forward. Please. Please, we're going to deeper dive a little bit, but I want Tania to really just give us a scripture before we deep dive on some of these things. Because, whew, come on, Nia.
Ooh, okay, you got me bringing the word. Here we go. Woo. Let's see. So there were two. There were like two, right? That
Mm-hmm.
really, really stood out that I believe God highlighted. God Himself highlighted. So Job 17:9
Mm.
in the New Living Translation, because you know I love my multiple different translations.
Yes, you do.
So it says, the righteous keep moving forward, and those with clean hands become stronger and stronger. The righteous keep moving forward,
Mm.
and those with clean hands become stronger and stronger.
The mere fact that this is coming from Job, the,
Right.
the mere fact. Um, And those of you who might not be familiar with Job or Job's story, the man went through, okay? The man went through. Um, and so the mere fact that Job can even talk about moving forward after he lost everything, okay, is an amazing testament to God's will over our lives, and also sometimes the perseverance that we have within ourselves for him to be able to make such a statement, right? After
Yeah.
losing everything, complete devastation. Okay. And so the thought of him moving forward, right?
Right.
Like, it's a,
Right.
I mean, I know we've struggled with some areas in our life on moving forward, but I know I've been through some things. You've been through some things.
Oh
It
yeah.
might have felt a little Jobish, but I don't know. Uh, Job was a complete loss.
Mhm.
Um, Yeah, that scripture is so powerful from his perspective. If you just
Right.
think about him sitting in that and making that statement.
Right.
Um, yeah.
Because it's talking about those of us that are that call ourselves God's children.
Mm,
And I love the word keep.
mm,
I don't even want, I feel like all of that needs to be together, like keep moving forward,
right.
right? It's just like that keep gets me here. Cause it's like you said, based on all that he went through, losing all his children, all his, losing all
Everything.
his provision, right?
Right. Right.
Everything literally gone in a moment because the devil chose to test him, right? And he still was able to say, okay, but
Mm,
if I call myself a believer, keep moving forward.
Right. Right.
Yeah, this is a good one.
I mean, he was encouraging himself.
Right.
You know, obviously, he was not thinking about anyone else in that moment, right? But he was encouraging himself to let me just keep moving forward. And there's days where we have to do that.
Yeah. Yeah. And especially when you're not blessed to surround yourself with
Hmm.
people that can encourage you,
Correct.
keep walking forward.
Mm,
Just
mm,
keep
mm,
moving forward. It doesn't make sense. I know it doesn't make sense, but
mm.
let's keep moving forward. Let's keep it going.
I tell you,
Going.
and you really may, if you don't have a circle, right? And we talk about this in season one
Yes.
quite a few times, right? We talk about the
A
people you
lot.
surround yourself with. So if you don't have a support system that can really help you come alongside you, right? To be an anchor with you, to be a prayer partner with you, or to just help be a positive light in your life. If you don't have that, I encourage you to reevaluate your circle and find a community, even if it's
Yeah.
of just one, someone to just encourage you to come on. You know what? Let's keep it moving. We're not living in the past. That's done. Let's move forward.
Yes. Yes. And let's talk about the being stuck
Mm,
because I feel like
mm,
this pandemic.
mm.
Ooh,
Right.
it took stuck to a whole nother level, right?
Right. Yeah.
But you stuck in the house, you
Right.
you you just stuck. You're stuck. It's like, okay, do I take this freedom now? Do I not take this freedom now? It's like, okay, maybe it's just safer right here.
Hmm. Hmm.
Safer right here. So let's talk about that, about the
Well,
stuck.
I think that there is a conscious stuck, right? There's a conscious where you are, and then there maybe is an unconscious because there's there's opportunities that can be brought to you that you might not have known that you were in a holding pattern, right? Or that you
Yeah.
were even regressing for that matter. Um, Clearly, with the scripture reference that we just read, Job, I'm sure, thought he was doing just fine, right? So it took devastation, God, to allow that. Let's just please let's put this in perspective. It wasn't
Right.
that was a happenstance. That was a divine strategy right
That's right.
there,
Yeah.
to propel him forward by taking him backwards, almost like a bow and arrow. Okay. And
Or a
so,
slingshot. Yeah.
absolutely. So when we think about where we are at the current stance and how we look to move forward, sometimes we, again, according to Job, everything was going great. I mean, he had everything he could imagine. Did he think he was stuck? I don't think he thought he was stuck. I don't think he even thought he was regressing. I thought he thought, maybe I'm doing well. I've got wealth. I've got a bunch of children. I've got a wife. You know,
Right. I love
in that
God.
day,
I
he was
serve
good.
God because he loved God. He served God, and it said
Right.
so, right?
Mhm.
That God loved him equally back, if not more, right?
Right.
It's like
Right.
he did nothing wrong to deserve,
Mm.
ooh, to deserve what happened. If anything, he was doing everything right, which is why
Correct. Correct.
everything went so wrong,
Come on.
right?
Come on.
So,
The
what about
methods.
the stuck
Ooh,
versus a pause? Hmm. Hmm.
sometimes I think they can feel one and the same.
Yes, I
I
agree.
think it's about perspective. And I think it depends on our ability to listen to where God has us for our lives, right? Being sensitive. We talked about that, being connected, tuning in, right? And so, what may sometimes feel like pain or problems, let's just call it that, right? Could very well be a pause. But if we're not tuned in and sensitive and to say, God, what is this, right? God, reveal this to me, show this to me, then we wouldn't know. And so that his situation or anyone else's situation, if there's a pause, even if there's a regression for that matter, does that mean we're doing anything wrong? Again, check in because that's what's going to be the indication right there. is let God tell you whether or not based on outside circumstances, because just like his friends came to him and looked at his outside circumstances and was like,
Right.
dude, it's a wrap,
Right.
right? His own wife was like, it's a wrap. So they're looking at outside circumstances, putting their mouths on it, right? Let's modernize it. Okay. They put
Right.
their mouths on it, not realizing that it was orchestrated by God. And so sometimes we have to be mindful, y'all, on what we put our mouths on, because we don't realize we're looking at it from our eyes, not realizing that that was a divine strategy. Okay. And
So
so
true.
God was like, let me shed and let me cut the fat. Okay. And so he did that. He allowed those circumstances in Job's life to happen. Okay. To cut the fat, to shed who no longer served Job's life, and then restored Job with even more so, propelled him moving forward in such a trajectory. I mean,
Right.
right?
I love the analogy you used earlier on the arrow, and
Mm-hmm.
how I also said the slingshot, because to me that even accentuates even more about the pause versus a stuck,
Yes.
right? Because even when you're watching someone about to shoot an arrow or about to shoot a slingshot, there's
Mm-hmm.
a pause.
Right.
And the pause isn't because they don't know what they're doing. That pause is because they're preparing and they're
Mm.
aiming properly. And
Come
there's
on.
work even in the pause. It's like,
Come on.
okay, there's still
Yeah.
movement. We're still moving forward. We're
Oh,
still
yeah.
planning on moving forward. We're just ordering our steps, as we love to say, right?
Come
God is
on.
just setting it up. He's just aligning it. And so
Mm.
it's like, I agree with you. It's like, okay, that's definitely a moment where you need to have a relationship with God, that you can ask God, okay, am I stuck,
Yes.
or is this just a pause?
Come on.
Like, are you lining me up? You getting it straight? You know,
Right.
I'm in the drawback. I'm just right back here, and being
Right.
able to even see that, like you said, in others, of, hey,
Mm.
you're not stuck. You're in that pause.
Come
Because like
on.
you said, you're about to be shot.
Correct. Right.
You're
Because
about
if you
to,
think from Job's perspective, he had everything he possibly wanted.
yeah,
So there was no way to propel forward because he already was in a forward motion. It took that pullback and that pause in order for that even further trajectory to really manifest in his life, right? It's hard to go forward from forward. Sometimes what you may think as a pullback is nothing more but just giving you additional leverage and strength, right?
I know, but it doesn't feel good in the moment
Honey,
to be stretched back.
are we talking? Are we talking
Yeah,
about the
we're
pullback?
just talking. We're just
Okay.
talking.
Okay.
Everybody else just happens to be listening in on our
Okay. Yeah.
conversation. That's what this show is. That's what
Yeah.
this show
We're
is,
talking about the
everyone.
pullback. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
About how much sometimes that hurts, right?
Mm, mm.
Being stretched,
Honey,
like to capacity.
beyond it. You feel like it's almost beyond it. When you think about your slingshot concept, right? Your slingshot, where
Yeah,
that band is pulled, I mean, to where it's almost about to break.
that's right.
That catapult, when you think about it, right? The old gladiator movies where they bring that thing all the way down to the ground,
Right,
right? In order for
right,
it to completely compel forward, where it's shooting, boulders over mountains, right?
right.
But it had to be pulled completely down to the ground in order to get that kind of force.
Yeah, yeah. But never beyond its
Hmm.
capacity,
There
right?
you go.
Because
That's
like
it.
God says, He doesn't give us more than we can bear. He does not stretch us any further.
It feels like it, honey.
It does feel like it.
It's to the margin. Okay.
It's
It's
to the end. It's to the nth degree. It's like, ooh.
woo,
And
to the
just when
margin.
we think He can't stretch us anymore,
Hmm.
it's like, no, you got some more. You got some more in you.
There's
You
some
got
days
some
where
more
I'm
strength.
like, capacity. I'm that's my word. I'm like capacity, and he understands because I'm like, what you think is my capacity. Let me help you understand, God, that I'm at capacity. Maybe you see a little bit more bandwidth. I appreciate it. I really do. Sister is out of capacity. Okay. Here's her white flag. No, can't take, can't go no further. And then it amazes how he still gets a little extra in that. I don't know. Whew.
He knows our capacity to
Hmm,
be stretched.
honey.
So if you are sitting here watching this, or you're driving and listening, watching this, wherever you are blessed to be hearing this right now, if you
Hmm.
feel like you are being stretched beyond your capacity, just know you're
Whew.
not beyond your capacity. You might be at the nth degree. You might be pretty close,
Come
pretty close.
on.
But if you see yourself, like we said, as that arrow and as that slingshot, it's like, okay, any moment now, God's going to release me. Any moment now, He's going to shoot me forward, because you can't shoot an arrow backwards, and you
You
can't shoot a slingshot backwards.
cannot.
Not easily, anyway.
No,
You
it is
should
a
not.
forward trajectory from a backwards pull. Isn't that amazing?
Yes. Yes. I have this amazing sign over my shoulder, and it's in my house with an arrow, a forward arrow, and it
Hmm.
says, "Don't look back. You're not going that way."
Come on.
So this is the season of forward.
It sure is. It sure is. And if you're not even aware of it, I will bring it to your attention. Okay.
Mhm. Yeah. If you are seeing a lot of things stirring in your life and you're like, okay, what is going on?
Mm,
You in the pullback. You're in
mm,
the pullback. Welcome. Welcome.
honey, honey, honey.
Welcome to the pullback.
Deep
It is
breath.
all for a purpose. All
Woo.
for a beautiful purpose.
You want to read the second scripture?
I can. Yes. So the next scripture, ooh, comes from David.
Mm,
Psalms 143 and 10. And
come
we
on.
know he went through some stretching.
I mean,
Um, Teach me to do your will, for you are my God. May your gracious spirit lead me forward on a firm footing. That's
mm,
Psalms 143 and 10, in
mm,
that lovely New Living Translation, right?
mm.
May your gracious spirit lead me forward on a firm footing.
Come on. Not shaky, not shaky, but a firm footing.
Mhm. Right.
First of all, that scripture has about four parts. Okay.
Yes, yes, it does.
Because the teach me to do your will, comma. Okay. I don't know, the new living is putting these specific commas in here and periods. Okay.
Yes, specific.
So teach me to do your will is a whole right there. We could just stop there,
That
first of all.
that is allowing yourself to be the arrow or to
Mm,
be the stone in the
come on.
slingshot. That's what that is. Teach me to do your will.
Wow.
Who wants to be that? Who wants to be that piece?
Yeah, like sign me up for that. No,
Right.
no. Not if we're being honest, right? Like
Right.
we have gotten to a place, you and I, of surrender in our lives, but it wasn't necessarily volunteer.
Most of the time, I'm still a work in progress sometimes on that surrender piece.
Yeah, that volunteer, that voluntold.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. So he's basically asking that, right? Teach me to do your will. And then he's saying, and then he acknowledges the place of God in his life. For you are my God, right? He makes that thing personal.
Right.
Okay.
All
So
the time.
relationship, there is that. If you don't have a personal relationship, I encourage you,
Yes.
seek and get a personal relationship so that you can also say, you are my God, right? That is as personal as it gets.
And you have understanding to the forward,
Mm,
because it's hard to understand if you're not speaking the language of the person that's trying to talk to you.
come on. You can't even hear.
Mm-mm. No,
No,
no.
no, you can't even hear. So it's like, okay, wait a minute. What am I hearing? What am I moving? How am I moving forward? Right?
Right, right.
No, no, you can't at all. So it's moving forward. And then the second line says, may your gracious spirit lead me forward on a firm footing. Right?
Yes,
So there is the key with that. Both of these scriptures tie in to some awesome songs that I sent over to us, Danielle, our amazing producer. We'll put them in the comments. But each one of those songs relates to the two scriptures, and we didn't even communicate, right? Because those three songs were the songs that God had given me on Moving Forward by Israel and New Breed, Burn the Ships by King and Country, and Moving On by Jonathan McReynolds and Mally
mm,
Music, right? And so
right,
then God gave you the scriptures. And of course, how this show, if you all don't realize this, come on, everything aligns because everything is in alignment and it just
right,
comes right on together with supporting them. And so may your gracious spirit lead me forward on a firm footing, not
right,
shaky.
right. And
Come
he
on.
put himself in second position because he's like, may your spirit lead me. In other
Correct.
words, I don't even want to be first.
Not at
I
all.
need you to be out in front of me, holding my hand,
Come on.
telling me the way to go.
Right.
You know,
Right.
am I going left? Am I going right? Oh, we stopping? We're pausing? We're pausing. Okay, we're pausing.
Because that's how only way you can be led.
Right,
Right.
right. You can't be led and be out front.
Mm. Some people want to lead from behind. Okay, that's not, no, that's not where God wants you.
No,
Mm-mm,
no.
not at
So
all.
good. And like you
So
said, on a firm footing.
yes, yes, right?
Right,
Solid, firm footing, moving forward. That's it, So whew, I'm encouraging you all go back, study those, read them, marinate in it a little bit. And if you all have any scriptures on moving forward, put them in the comments.
yes,
We want to
yes,
hear, we want to review, we want to read. This is an engaging show, so we want to know give us your takeaway on those two scriptures on moving forward. And what have you had to, in your life, embrace scripture or song, right? Or even a positive verse or affirmation, whatever it comes to you, put it in the comments and let us know what has inspired you or has encouraged you to move forward.
right. So, and even if you have a different translation,
Mm-hmm.
I love all the translations that are out now. So if you even have a different translation to that, to
Come
either
on.
one of those scriptures, that you're
Right.
like, okay, yours are good, Tania, but I got a better one. It's like, hey, we want to see it. Post it
Mm,
in the comments, whether you're watching live or even on the replay. If you're watching a replay, you can still comment. Our comments are still open, so you can
right.
comment at any time. So that whole importance of not getting stuck
Mm,
in a forward
mm.
moment.
Moving forward.
Woo, and the
I
stuck.
love it. Why keep moving forward? And what's the importance of not getting stuck?
It delays time.
Ma'am.
It delays being shot out. If I'm stuck, God can't move me forward if I'm stuck.
This is just so
And
much
the
to
stuck
unpack.
is a real thing. We're not dismissing
Right.
a season of stuck, or
Or pause.
being in a place of being stuck. We're not dismissing that at
Right.
all. It's a very real thing. And we've all been there, right? When can you agree we've all been there?
Listen, there's times when you might have been stuck. There's times where you might have been on a pause. There's times when you might have moved forward, but not realize that it's the level of forward that God is calling you to. Okay. So it
Yeah.
might be a forward motion, right? Do you all remember? And maybe we're dating ourselves, right? On CD players and cassette players, where you had a forward, right? And then you had that super fast forward. I know you know what I'm talking about.
Oh yes. Oh
On the
yes.
VHS, y'all know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
Okay. There was a super fast forward where there was a skip over, right? So you could fast forward at a regular pace, okay? And then it had the double triple arrow with the little line,
Yep.
okay? And that's taking it on a whole different pace of forward.
Yes.
Okay. Um, there's that. Because some people may not be stuck. They may just be moving at a slower pace, moving at their pace, moving at what they feel is forward for them. Because again, Job wasn't stuck. He was
That's
moving
correct.
at the pace for him.
He was moving at God's pace for him.
Come
I
on.
think that's where we all need to accept that is what is God's pace for me?
Mm,
What is his design for me in moving
right.
forward? And be willing to accept that and be okay with that and embrace it.
Mhm.
That your fast forward may not look like my fast forward.
Correct.
And there's no reason to throw shade on your fast forward if yours is a little faster. Because guess what? In the end, we all going to cross the finish line. We're
Well,
all going to cross
everyone's
our finish
line is
line.
at a different place, right? So
Right.
Job's forward was Job's forward, I think, in his own strength, in his own right. Uh, and God allowing that interruption, okay,
Yes.
that pause, that pullback. And from there, God saying, okay, you know what? Because you were faithful and you didn't forsake me and you still loved on me, right? And you didn't put your mouth on me like everybody else did. You still trusted in me. I'm going to take you from your pace of forward to God's pace of forward.
Yes.
Okay. And to see the difference. Boy, was it a difference.
It was double.
I mean,
As the old passage used to say, double for his trouble,
it
right?
went to warp speed, right?
It was.
It went from just okay, we just chugging along, right? To okay, wait a minute. We we in warp.
Yeah. 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 So good. And even, in the moments where we are, if God is like, okay, and you even recognize, yes, I'm in a season,
Right.
I'm stuck, right? How it's so important to recognize that and acknowledge it, and then
Mm-hmm.
ask God, okay, what got me stuck?
Right. Right.
Did I fall off my purpose? Am I not doing what I'm supposed to be doing right now? In this season of my life, to actually
Mm.
sit back and take an examination of your life of okay, what got me stuck? Are the people I'm hanging around are they stuck? So we all stuck together,
Right. There's that.
you
There's
know.
that.
Hmm.
I think it's I think this topic has two sides to the same coin
It does.
because you totally understand the stuck side and totally understand the moving at your own pace side. And to Kim's point, a fast forward, right? So both of them, depending on where you are, maybe you're stuck, maybe you're on a pause, maybe you're moving forward at your own pace, understanding that your forward and God's forward, regardless, are very different forwards. Okay.
Yes.
And it's
Right.
going to take you out of your comfort zone. Okay. And to be okay. I mean, let's just be real talk. This show is real and relevant. We're not having
Right.
a conversation tonight about anything we're not living, not
Right.
lived, living. Okay.
Living present tense, daily,
ING, honey.
daily.
Okay, with the fast forward, all I could think about with my last 24 hours was Kevin Hart analogies of no, she wasn't ready. Yeah, there's that, right? Shout out to Kevin Hart on that one. That's it, the fast forward where you aren't prepared. You think you're moving forward, you thought you were moving forward, you thought you had moved forward,
Yeah.
right?
Yes. Totally right. Spot on with that. Um, yes, Kim, I love your comment.
Mhm.
Stuck, pause, slow moving, seek God in all of it. Yes, that is true.
Absolutely.
All day long.
Mm.
and and in the understanding of the stuck piece,
Mm-hmm.
there's so many there's so many ways that one can be stuck. There's so many things that can bring on a season of being stuck, right?
Right.
Um, Multiple trauma, hurts, offenses,
Yeah.
unforgiveness.
Mm.
Like I said, like Gwen said, you can go back and watch season one to get your freedom on all of that, right?
Please.
But it's
Yes.
the reality that those things can have you stuck,
Right.
and so it is not always,
Mm.
don't be mad at me for what I'm about to say, but it's not always the devil.
Eh,
It's not always the enemy.
Well,
Sometimes it is.
within. Within. The
Sometimes it is self.
people, places, and things exist. But a
Yeah.
lot of times, stuck is from within.
Yes. Yes. So
Absolutely.
take take it from us. We've been there too. Been with
Yes.
you on the within. And do what you need to do to get unstuck, because time is of the essence,
Exactly.
right?
Exactly.
Nobody wants to be in that holding pattern any longer than they have to be. Who wants to
Honey.
be in the stretch any longer than you need to be?
And here's real talk. Many of us don't realize that we are not living life to the full or the fast forward because it's the norm. The pace that we are at is the norm. What's around us, we're comfortable with. Just like Job, he had made a certain level in his life where he was comfortable. So
Okay.
stuck wasn't in his vernacular. He thought, I mean, really, he, according to the standards of his time, he had made it,
Right,
right?
right. He was
So
blessed on blessed, blessed on blessed.
he didn't think he was on a stuck. He didn't think he was paused. He surely didn't think he was slow moving. But I will tell you this, I think in hindsight, he realized, wow, I thought I had it together. I thought it was good, right? Once he got that catapult forward, then he could look back and realize, no, I was just on the surface.
Right, right. And then there's that whole importance that we want to make sure we talk about whose strength are you moving forward in?
There's that.
Like David said, right?
Mm-hmm.
Holy Spirit, please lead me forward,
Right.
right? And the importance of ensuring that no matter what it is, there is nothing too small for God to lead you in,
Mm-mm.
to lead you forward in. And guess what? And telling God, you know what?
Mm.
I'm not stepping one foot forward
Honey.
until I know that I know that I know is you.
And to ask, I mean, literally today, I took a pause after my last 24 hours, honey. And I was like, God, reveal, because this
Yes,
is the conversation we having right now. I need you to reveal
yes,
every area of my life, okay, that I'm not moving at your pace of forward. And I give you full authority and permission, okay, of not only surrender, but I give you authority and permission, honey. Well, we done got a whole new level in season two, honey, to move me forward at the pace in which you desire me to be at. Because again, in the area in the last 24 hours, I thought, again, here's the I in the thought. I thought
what you
that
thought.
area, that area I had conquered was already full. I thought,
Mhm.
okay, we good on that. Okay, I was obedient. I did what you told me to do. Yeah, bet. We forward.
Mhm.
We forward.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And last 24 hours, I was like, wait. Oh, oh, okay. There's another level of forward. Oh, there's a fast forward. Oh, because I didn't apparently. Okay, I'd have got to that. I guess maybe I'd have got to this place. I
Right.
mean, I mean, probably, maybe. I don't know. I didn't think I wasn't there. But when God fast forwards, honey, honey,
Yes. Yes.
it's gonna take you out of your comfort zone. Y'all, please. Cousin Win is
It's the
telling you,
difference. It's the difference between a 10-year-old shooting a bow and arrow and an Olympic medalist shooting a bow and arrow.
honey, honey,
You know, they got a little, you get a little far,
listen.
but let an expert get a hold of that arrow. And how far are we going and how fast is it going? Right? That's God's desire for us in his timing. In
In
his
his
timing.
timing, in his timing. And I guess I was walking along on foot. I thought I was doing okay. And he was like, honey, let me go ahead and put you in my jet. Okay. Because where I need you to get to, you're not getting there fast enough. So go on, let me scoop you up, put you on this jet. Okay. Because you were in a forward motion. There was no stop. It was forward. We were moving forward. Okay.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
had Israel, we had Israel, we were moving forward, we had burned the ships, okay, and we were moving on, okay. You had done all three of the songs as a melody, okay, honey. You know we love a good old melody, okay.
Yes.
I thought again, but no, honey. It was the warp speed at that point in a very quick amount of time, out of a comfort zone, and you will know that it is God doing it
Yes.
because it's going to feel incredibly uncomfortable.
There's
Incredible.
that. There's that. Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
not going to be prepared.
There is no comfort. There
No.
is no there is no comfort in a pullback. There is no comfort in that. There's no comfort in that. Like, oh,
Honey.
okay. And I'm going through the air, like you
Mhm.
said, at warp speed,
Yes. Yes.
right? But only God can move everything out of the way because he knows I'm coming.
Mm,
He's like,
mm,
oh, I'm sending you. I have sent you.
mm.
I have already moved everything out of the way. No blockage, no obstruction.
Quick, fast, in a hurry.
But that's when God is the one shooting us forward,
Correct.
not in our own strength, right? Not in our own strength. Who wants to go 10 feet when you could go 500 feet?
Mm, mm, mm. It's the truth. And we talk about all the time how we may play checkers, but God plays chess, right? The master strategist.
Master.
To look back as I sat today and I reflected, y'all take times to reflect. And I looked at the strategicness. I was like, I'm forever looking at a wall. I'm forever like, how in the like,
I'm laughing at your word of the day, strategicness.
come on.
The word of the
Listen,
day,
y'all, I will
strategicness.
put some words together, honey, on this show. Just be prepared and don't anybody say anything on season 2 about a Webster, Merriam-Webster. When puts together some work.
Yes.
Listen, the master, the level of strategy. I was
Right.
like, how?
Because only he can see all around.
Oh my God.
Only
Oh
he
my
can
God. Down
see.
the
Only
street,
he
around the
can
corner. I
see.
mean,
Only he has 360-degree vision.
mm, mm,
Only he
mm.
can see back, forward,
Correct.
sideways,
Correct.
all at the same time. And so why try to lead ourselves? Why try to move forward in our own strength when
Correct.
all we can see at best, we have to literally turn ourselves around. He don't have to
Not at all.
So why live our lives that way if we don't have to? Right? And it's all about divine alignment, like we talked about in season 1, right? And that
Right.
importance of the divine alignment. He's not moving you forward just because he doesn't have anything to do.
Mm,
There's a
mm, mm.
purpose in that. There's somebody waiting for you to surrender your will.
My God.
I'm always on that, right?
My
There's
God.
somebody waiting for you to surrender your will. There's somebody that God has assigned to you,
Mm,
and
mm,
they may be
mm.
sitting there right now like, okay, I keep thinking about this person. I don't know who they are, but there's
Right.
somebody, and it's you. They're waiting.
And we're living that life's mantra, right? Of it's not
Right.
about you. We're the conduit, we're
Yes.
the vessel. It's uncomfortable. We may feel it's like, but it's not about most of the time,
Right.
it is not about us. There is someone else on the other side of that journey that you need to impact. And it won't happen without your obedience. It won't happen without your forward trajectory. And we talked about last season, the ripple effect, right? And knowing that
Right.
if we are stuck, right? Or even if we're not moving at the pace that we need to move at, okay? If we're moving at the regular forward versus the fast forward, and that person needs us to be at a fast forward pace to connect with them, right? Imagine running a marathon, we have the baton and we're taking a jog. So we're still moving forward on the track, we're jogging. No, but no, we need to pick up the pace to
Right.
give them the baton, right? So that they can then connect and they can go forward at a fast pace. But when we're just jogging along, honey, now we've altered multiple lives, okay, in
Yes.
this race on this journey, thinking that it's just impacting us. Most of the time, no. There's a ripple effect that we're not even conscious of.
Always. I dare say there is always a ripple
Hmm.
effect in every decision that we make or don't
Right.
make.
Come on.
There is always that ripple effect of, okay, if I stand here and I don't move any further,
Mm.
if I park it in a couch and just turn on Netflix, who
Yes.
am I impacting right now? Whose life am I impacting by
Remember
not
what
doing what
what
God
you used
told
to
me
say
to
to
do?
me? Slow obedience. What your pastor say? Slow
Delayed
obedience.
obedience
There you go.
is still disobedience.
Because we always about the well, we did it. Okay.
And whose timing did you do it in?
When we felt like doing it. Because you know how we are,
Mhm.
right? So now, because it was a delayed obedience, it was disobedience, right?
Right,
Still, right?
right.
Still disobedience in the delay.
Yeah, that's
And
correct.
now, were we able to connect to the next leg of the race? Whose journey was impacted by our delayed obedience?
But for grace,
Mm,
but for grace.
because we were still moving forward, right?
Mhm.
Let's not we're
Yeah,
not going backwards. We're still in the moving forward, right?
yeah.
At what pace? I'll get there.
The
I'm
pace
gonna
of
get there.
grace, the pace of grace, which is something we shouldn't play with or take for granted.
Hunty,
That's the pace of grace right there. It's like, okay, don't test God and His grace.
honey, you will
Don't.
turn out
Woo.
sea salt. You'll be some sea salt or smelling like a fish. Please, y'all,
Okay.
stop it. Just go back to season one. Understand the references. Sea salt or smelling like a fish. Kind of fishy
Mm,
because you went forward. Oh, but you smelled fishy when you got to where you was going.
right. Or looking awfully salty,
There's that.
awfully salty,
There's that.
because you chose to stop and turn around
Mm, mm, mm.
and look back at, well, I got some time, but do you? But do we really? Do we
Come
really
on.
have time?
Right.
Do we really have time? And that's a rhetorical
That
question.
was a
Look,
pause
that's a
moment.
rhetorical question. Do we really have time?
That was her pause, right? Lot's wife was like, let me take a pause. Let me look back. Boom. That's it. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. There was no forward.
No.
Good old sea salt.
Mm, 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 mm. And she could have paused. She could have paused and not looked back. The
Come
problem
on.
was
There.
she looked back because they didn't
Ah,
tell her necessarily you must if you stop if you plant your feet and don't move you're going to turn into salt. They didn't say that.
correct.
They said
Correct.
if you turn back, if you look back.
Because there's a difference. Come on.
And yes, hey Michelle, yes,
Mm, mm, mm.
yes,
That's it.
yes. Trust you want it to be, yes. Trust that
That's
you
it.
want it to be you.
Come
Yes.
on. Because she could have moved forward with a pause.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But that decision, once again, in the ripple effect, look at all that it impacted.
Unnecessarily.
Unnecessary.
So
Yes.
I'm encouraging you all in this season, and I'm loving the feedback in the comments, y'all. Keep it
Yes.
coming
Keep it
because
coming. Thank you.
understanding this is real life. This is our life. This is moment by moment, as Tania says, second by second. Okay, uh, we have decisions to make with every moment. It's like, okay, are we moving forward? Are we pausing or are we regressing? Where are we? Moment by moment.
Yeah. Yeah. So, uh, Gwen, you want to share a time maybe when you were unable to move forward or you felt stuck? You rocking.
Sick of you. I don't need listen that I can share on here.
Well, yeah. Yeah.
And we're real and relevant, but some
We
things
are. We
is
are.
a little bit much.
Yeah.
Areas where I was unable to move forward. Look, honey, I'm here.
Thank you, Kim. Yes.
Woo! Listen, I honestly am gonna say, for the record, probably in my former marriage, probably
Mm,
that was an area where, yes, Kimmy, I'm here, where I had to,
yeah.
yes, and I thought, again, here we go with our thoughts,
Right.
that it was a forward trajectory until I got in alignment with where God had me for my life.
Mm,
Okay,
yeah.
honey, released, got in position to listen
Yes.
in alignment, and that point from the pullback, right,
Yes.
to the forward trajectory ever since. And so, again, there's so many instances where we may think in our own minds that we are moving forward, but are we?
Mm,
Are we? And so that was my prayer today, honey, where I just paused. I was in the middle of the floor and I was like, let me just stop right here. Because after these last ones, let me check in. Okay. If there's any area, God, where I'm not moving forward
yes.
and at your pace, because those two things are okay, forward and
Yes.
at your pace. You got free will at this point. Handle it. Because apparently I didn't realize that I wasn't moving forward and or at your pace. Okay. And so that is
That's
one
it.
area where I can say in my life personally, when I was released from that toxic environment and brought into a place of healing, that now the trajectory forward has been amazing. I mean, just as you said, it's like stealth. It's from molasses forward because again, it wasn't a regression. It was
Right.
like a molasses forward. It was like a snail pace. It was forward was happening. I can't say that it wasn't happening. That would be untruthful.
Yeah.
Forward was happening. Was it 2021 forward? No, no, absolutely not. But forward was happening. And now to look back at that, right? After checking in, having some introspect, getting to a place of release and a place of healing, and to see now with God's alignment. Whoo, honey, when y'all align with God, let me tell you, okay?
Yes.
When you get into alignment, the level of forward,
Right.
I can't describe it in my
Mm-mm.
vocabulary. The level of forward when you surrender and get in alignment. Honey,
Yes.
just know, holler back at me when you get in there because you're
I
going to know.
feel like the word forward doesn't even do it justice at
I
that
think it's
moment. I feel like
propel.
it's acceleration, like or
Yes,
propel. It's just like,
propel. And that's exactly because it's a thrust. It's a
yeah,
thrust like you never have imagined, like a jet engine. Okay, you truly go from walking on foot forward to
right.
feeling like you were on a roller coaster or in a jet and you were propelled at a pace and to a distance that you were unfamiliar with or probably didn't even realize existed before.
So good. Yeah. Yeah. I can honestly say I was stuck.
Mm-hmm.
Um, if I was moving forward, it was definitely little by little, like it was very small baby steps.
Right, right.
And it was due to trauma
Talk
that
about it.
one, I hadn't even really realized how the event in my life had really traumatized me emotionally,
Right.
and even spiritually. Being transparent, real, and relevant tonight, right?
Come on.
Not just emotionally, but even spiritually. Like, okay, and still going about my day to day life, right? On the outside
Mm,
to the rest of the world, I'm sure I look just fine.
right.
But on the inside, I'm like, okay, something's off.
Mm,
Something's off, you know? And having to sit with myself and say, okay, God, what is it that
right.
what's going on? What is going on? Because I don't feel like I'm
Mm,
moving at your pace. I feel like I'm moving at my own, if
right.
at all. And he showed me, you're still stuck back in this trauma back here. Your
Mm, mm,
emotions are still stuck there.
mm-hmm.
Even though you worship me, even though you praise me, even though you're obedient to things I tell you to do,
Come on.
you're stuck back here.
Mm,
It was
mm,
like, it was just like a quicksand,
right.
you know? And it wasn't sinking me in lower, but I was just stuck, almost in functioning, just functioning,
That's it,
right?
right?
Just
Surviving versus
functioning.
thriving. Exactly.
Yes, yes. And so, or as they say with Minecraft, survival mode versus creative mode, right?
Right.
I was in
Right.
just survival mode and having to take that time to really recognize and then getting the help that I needed
Come on.
spiritually,
Please. Come on.
spiritually, right?
Yes.
Doing the work spiritually and at the same time doing the work outside, doing the
Yes.
work on me, because sometimes we can pray all day long, but God gives wisdom for others.
Mm,
There are other resources that go right along with that prayer, right? That
right.
prayer and that spiritual piece. And so doing the work that I needed to do to get unstuck
Mm,
because God was like, okay, there's people waiting. There's people waiting. I got
that
people waiting for you to get unstuck.
that ripple effect, right? Come
Yeah.
on.
And me recognizing, I know you have people. I know you have people waiting, God. You've already shown me. I know you have people waiting. So I need you to help me get unstuck because I can't do this in my own strength.
Mm, mm, mm.
Yes.
That's it. That's so good, hon. And to know that there might not be people who are watching or who are in our lives who know that they are at a stuck place, right? In a stuck place. And it takes God to maybe speak to some other people to be able to bring that conversation in love and in
Right.
grace to say, hey, you may not realize that this is an area where you're not thriving in. Okay. You may want to check in. Is this an area where you're stuck? Are you living your best life in every area of your life?
Yes. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah. And be willing to allow God to even use us in those moments when he shows us our
Mm,
loved one or our dear friend or somebody that he's placed in our tribe or in our circle or in our,
hmm.
as we love to say, in our holy of holies, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Where God can use us to be like, hey, we need to check in. Let's do a check in,
Mm,
because you sounded like you might be stuck. Are you stuck? Let's. I'm happy to pray with you. Let's see if this is a stuck or a pause.
right.
You know,
Right. But you
Um,
have to allow yourself, first of all, you have to allow yourself to be in a circle, right? And so I
right.
love, if you all haven't watched Pastor Michael Todd's, and I forgot I didn't even get to send it to you all, but the circle of faith, right? Having people to surround you. You all just go on YouTube and look for Circle of Faith, Pastor Michael Todd with Transformation Church, where
Yes.
he talks about your circle, the people around you. Oh my goodness. They, they single-handedly can either help pull you back, keep
Right.
you paused, or propel you forward. Okay.
Right.
And so if check in, because you might be moving forward, but the people around you might be dead weight. And honey, that's episode that I can't remember, but that's season one.
Yes, it was.
Go find season one, let it bless you. Okay. With literally who is in your circle.
Right. And
Because you might be moving.
are they moving forward? Because if they're not moving forward,
Come on.
no shade, but may the Lord watch between me and thee while we
While
are
we are
absent
absent.
one
You
from another.
come on.
I love you, but I gotta go.
Because that codependency that we talked about in season one,
Yes,
right? If they are not moving forward in their own lives, oh my goodness. Oh, you will find this very often. People who are not moving in the alignment where God has them at the pace where God should have, where they should be obedient.
yeah,
They are the first ones to let you know that you're in the wrong. You might want to slow down, right? And it's like, no, no, no. I'm in alignment. I'm obedient. This is the pace where God has me. This is the direction, right? I'm on this
that's
journey. I'm
correct.
focused. I got these blind. You talked about the blinders earlier.
Yeah,
Honey, they will come out the woodwork. You want to know whether or not you on the right pace?
right.
Honey, out the woodwork will they come with opinions, commentation, right?
Right.
Everybody is willing to give feedback that's unsolicited. Okay.
Yes,
Just know. Stay focused, y'all. Please, future focused, stay focused. Forward.
yes. Forward, only forward.
That's it.
We love all these comments tonight. Thank you guys so much
Oh my
for all
goodness.
the interaction. We are loving it. We are just loving it. If something resonates with you
Yes.
that we said tonight, post it up in the comments because we love to chat about that. It's This has been truly this whole topic.
Mm,
This whole topic for us, if you can't tell, this topic
mm.
for us is personal. I mean, honestly, I think every topic we've had is personal, but this one on forward
Listen.
it's hitting another space for me. It's hitting another spot for me in this season because I recognize the importance in this season
Mm,
for
mm,
me to keep moving forward with God's leading, right? To be like
yes.
David. I recognize it
Yes.
so
Yes.
strongly in this season.
With a firm footing.
Right. Yes.
The days of us going back and forth is done. This is a firm footing forward.
Hmm.
Okay. We
I
doing
feel like
are we doing the triple F's?
yes. And I feel like we are officially in that true season where I think we've always been there, but it's that true season of God is like, are you hot or are you cold?
I mean, some days.
You either gonna follow me forward or I'm gonna sit you down and I'll pick up another stone or another arrow.
Come on. And you got to be nimble, y'all. Like Tania loves the little inflatable man you see at the car dealerships. Okay. Put him up. Put him up. I know you got him somewhere.
I
Where's the
do
little,
have them. I do have them.
the
Shout out
little,
to Marcy on my little inflatable man. Yes.
you got to be, trust me, because again, you might be moving forward, but the pace that you're moving at is not the pace that God wants you to move at.
Yeah. That flexible. That flexible in his will. Ooh, Ooh,
You know, y'all, if we had a nickel for every deep breath on this episode, there, I don't know, Nia, we got some thousands.
I think we'd be going to the moon right about now. I think we'd be going up in space. I think we have enough money. If we put our nickels together, I think we'd be straight.
Deep breaths, deep breaths, you know, deep breaths. But it's real. It is so real. So I mean, in the comments, you all let us know, right? Anything that's resonating with you, anything that you want to shout out that is a forward testimony or a forward challenge that you're even having, right? You know, let us know. We're here. We're all here together. So, you know,
Right.
we're all together. We're the Listen family is here to help you together. Trust me. Whew. Well, I got some questions, honey.
Of course you do. What
Hey,
you got? What
if
you got?
you are new to the Listen Show, Win Forever got some questions. Okay. I will call to you all the time, be like, listen, I got questions. That's exactly how our conversation. Y'all just pick up the phone,
And God's sense of humor, he was like, okay, let everybody else in on your conversations. Like, just
basically.
create a show. You're going to call it Listen.
Correct. Correct. You're eavesdropping on our conversations because
Really.
listen, I got a question. Why does God attach our moving forward to other people's obedience?
Hmm. He doesn't have to work through man, but he chooses to work through man. Since literally day one, he has desired relationship with us and desired to partner with us
Mm-hmm.
in every area. So why would our moving forward be any different?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right? And aren't we called as believers to bring one another forward? It's like, hey,
Mm-hmm.
not to leave anyone behind. So
It's
yeah,
that stretching, right? It's
it is.
uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable. Where someone is coming alongside you, where God is using that person to
Mm-hmm.
say, come on,
That's right.
let's get in tandem,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Sometimes that doesn't feel good.
Not at all.
Sometimes it doesn't feel good because sometimes, like Kim said earlier, you get stuck in the comfort zone and that
Come
comfort
on.
zone feels really good. Like, no, this
Mm.
Netflix and this popcorn and this glass of wine feels really good.
Come on.
I'm going to
Come
chill right
on.
here and just binge watch.
Right.
And that other person's like, no. Well, we say, like when Tumbe, that no, 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 no.
Honey, my last 7
Come on.
days. My last
No.
listen,
It's like, come
listen.
on.
It
There's,
reminds me of when we were in elementary school. Um, and it's the three-legged race. Do you all remember the three-legged race? Come on. Now,
yes,
how often did we have the three-legged race where we were paired with someone? We're bind to them, right? Remember, they were tied around the leg.
that's right.
Most of the time in the three-legged race, there was always a person who was faster and slower tied together. Do you remember?
I do. I do.
Seldom was seldom did they move at the same pace.
That's
And
correct.
so when we think about that, we're moving forward, we're together, we're taking the step together. Okay?
Right.
One person is on fast forward, the other is on forward. How uncomfortable was that?
Extremely.
You felt like you were going to
And
trip?
and to be real about it, sometimes
Dangerous.
frustrating.
Whew, frustrating, dangerous, right?
Right.
Because now someone's about to trip and fall because they're feeling like they're being dragged at this point, right?
Right.
Because the pace that you have is not the pace that they have.
And if they go down, I go down.
Can we talk about the ripple effect?
If they go down, I go down.
They're attached to you.
That's right.
Come on.
Pregnant paused there on purpose for for you to give some thought. All of us need to give thought of who are we attached to.
Come on. Come on. Elementary school, uh, race day, what would field day?
Mm-hmm.
There was a message in a ministry in field day. We didn't even realize it. God was
Right.
using us in the come on, think about it.
Right. And even then, even in that, look at how selective we were and who
Mm,
we wanted to choose to be linked up with.
who we thought. Here we go with these thoughts again. Why is this the reoccurring theme of the night of who we thought could move us forward
Right.
at the pace?
Right.
God's like, nah.
It's good stuff. Yep. Mm-mm.
Mm-mm,
Mm-mm. Yeah.
mm-mm,
So I, yeah,
mm-mm.
paired with somebody else's disobedience. I mean, obedience and their
Well,
disobedience.
there's that.
Ooh, oof.
There is that.
Um, but I'm thankful. I'm thankful that he uses other people. I'm thankful,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Because sometimes it's a little easier to receive it from other people.
Are we,
Sometimes God
if we're
uses that
open to
person as
receive?
confirmation. Right?
Yes. Yes. For those that are open to receive, for
Yeah,
those that are open to listen to wise counsel, for
right.
those, I'm hello.
There's that. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We're gonna just
So,
rock. We're gonna rock. Let's
right.
rock.
I'm gonna ask the next question.
Mm,
So, how hard is it then to
mm,
disconnect from people that don't want to keep moving forward?
honey, look at the time.
Ooh.
Season one. Tania loves a soul tie in season one. Y'all go back and watch it. Okay. Come
Yeah,
on. Come
yeah.
on. How hard is it to disconnect from people that don't want to keep moving forward? Um,
Hmm.
you know, for those of you that don't know, Tania and I both wrote books. Okay. You'll get the information here shortly.
Yes.
But I
Yes.
have a section in one of mine called Release and Relationships. And honey, sometimes, sometimes a bit of do, you don't even realize it. But sometimes, as you mentioned earlier, may the Lord watch between me and thee.
Right.
It has to happen.
Yeah.
It has to happen. And you may not again. I'm gonna have to throw this out there because I'm. This is what I've lived. Okay,
Oh,
so
just throw it out.
sometimes you don't even know that you're not moving forward.
Right.
Again, you don't know that there is still a connection there. When it says, how hard is it to disconnect? You thought you might have.
Right.
And you might have. Because here was the revelation that I had gotten, honey. Honey, right? Because
Right.
because
Right.
because you might have,
Right.
but someone else might not have.
That's correct.
So there's that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm gonna leave it at that. Has all parties.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
When they say all hearts and mind clear, that used to be old school back in the day. Or all,
Right.
all.
Right. And how will you know? Someone may be asking, well, how will you know when it's time?
Mm, mm, honey, you got to
If
check
that
in.
person is no longer speaking life
Mm.
into your life,
It's a
definitely
season.
check in, like Wynn said.
Yeah.
Definitely check in with God. But in addition to that, if that person is no longer speaking life into your life,
Right. Right.
that doesn't mean that they have to constantly be that, cheerleader, because you also need the people that can be real with you and be like,
Come on.
there's a
Come on.
flag. Let's talk about the flag.
Right.
That's season one. But if that person is if they are causing harm to your
Mm,
purpose, if they
mm,
are hindering your purpose in any way,
right.
you may want to ask God, okay,
Mm,
can you confirm how long this person was supposed to be in my life and
real
what is
talk.
their purpose?
Yeah.
Is it just to stretch me? Is it to get my attention? Or are they a distraction?
Come on.
Right?
Everybody has a season of reason, right? And so, again, it's about that personal relationship with God to check in, to say, are the people who are in my lives meant to be in my life for this season? Are they meant to be
Yes.
in my future? Okay. As we talked about last season, just because God might have had them in your life yesterday and today doesn't mean it's for tomorrow. Okay. And so, again, you won't know that if you are not in tune and in alignment, because you could be still operating in the yesterday, and the yesterday was correct for yesterday.
But
Okay.
the yesterday has gone stale.
Come on.
Because the Lord's Prayer even says,
This
give
day.
me the bread that I need for today,
Come on.
which is the same. God,
Yes.
give me the people I need for today.
This season,
This
when I pray, I am intentional with my prayers, and so
yes,
I am always mindful to say, God, who surround me with people who you divinely need me to be connected to in this season. And I always am mindful of using that verbiage, because again, where he might have had me yesterday or even today may not be the new season of tomorrow. When we're talking about forward, it's always in a future position, right? And so to know that your today, where you are, is not your forward, that's your current. And so check
it's
in,
so
y'all.
true.
Please
Yeah,
always be in alignment and
yeah.
listen.
I always laugh whenever I take a moment to look over my career, if you will,
Mm-hmm.
and my resume because it's so all over the place. And people are always like, okay, you worked here and
Right.
we worked here, and like you're not even in the same industry, like you were all, and I was like, I was following God's leading,
Come on.
but constantly willing to move forward.
Right.
When he said the season was over, okay, God, what next? Where do
Correct.
you need me next? Who is
Exactly.
praying for me to be with
Mm,
him next?
so good.
And when
Right.
we stop caring more about
Whew.
about what it looks like on paper, about what our lives look like on paper, and we care more about what our lives look like to God,
Come on.
then this world will change for his glory. When it's like, you know what? Like
Mm,
Jesus, like Jesus told his own parents, I must be about my father's business.
come on.
I know I'm supposed to be in the caravan with you. I know. But God said I needed to be over here. Right? And it's the
Come
same.
on.
It should be the same in our lives every single day. And if
Mm,
people can't roll with you with that,
right.
then peace be unto them.
Again, right. There's a lot. You're going to hear that reoccurring theme through this whole, I mean, this whole season is probably going to be a peace be unto you season. Okay.
Really, really.
Because you can't move forward with people who are no longer serving you, right? No longer serving the season that you are in.
Yes.
They had a purpose. Okay. They might not have been a distraction. They could have legitimately had a purpose for the season where
Fully.
God had, but future, right? Forward. Are they in my future? Are they in my forward? Check in, y'all. Check in. So, and disconnect to answer that question. Disconnect, please.
Right. Where needed. Apply
Mm.
where needed. Apply the disconnect where needed. Don't
Oh,
don't go into 2022
come on.
still having people on your coattail
Mm,
that God has long told you it's time. It's time.
Mm,
Doesn't mean you can't still love them. Doesn't mean, unless God says otherwise, doesn't mean you can't still interact. But once
correct.
again, check in with God, follow
Yeah,
his leading, right?
right.
Don't end this year still with people holding on to your life that God is like, okay, no, I know I told you. I know
Mm.
I didn't told you about this person that it was time.
Personally and professionally and spiritually and
Spiritually.
financially and emotionally. Go
Yes.
through all the leads and reevaluate all the leads. Okay. Every area of the lead. I
Right.
kid you not. Evaluate. I do that introspect on a regular, but I really do a
Yes.
deep dive at the end of the year, where I'm like, you know what? Who's going forward into my next year? Honey, I purge on social media. I purge in real life. You it might be a
Yeah.
daily thing, but at the end of the year, and I'm looking at who's going forward into my next season, literally. No, you got the introspect, and you have to reevaluate your circle, and you have to just ask God to reveal, show me who is for me in my future.
Yes. So good. So good. If you have any feedback on that, anything you
Mm,
want to share, post it up in the comments. We would love
yes.
to hear your
Mm.
answers to our I got questions.
And for someone out
Love to
there
hear.
who's not going to do a real talk on the second part of that question, how hard is the disconnect from people that don't want to move you forward? I know you're asking about your family and the people you feel like are connected to you. Honey, listen, again, season one, okay? Because
Yes.
it be your own. Now, that was the worst grammar I could give you, but I'm just letting you know,
Yeah.
okay?
Yeah. No person, no one in your life is exempt
Come on.
from that.
The bloodline, very often, it's so common that will keep you in those generational cycles and circles, right?
Yes.
Because no one is willing to disconnect because it's your family, it's your bloodline. You feel like you have a level of loyalty, or you feel that this is something that you can't separate yourself from, right? With a healthy boundary,
Right.
prayer, or breaking some generational curses, whatever you feel you need to do. Okay. Understand, disconnect and moving you forward. Start with your inner circle. And I'm just going to let you know the inner circle is going to be your bloodline, and go from there.
Yeah. Yeah. And you can tell them that listen with Tania and Wynn said it's not personal.
Honey.
This thing is not personal. This thing is prophetic.
Hmm.
I'm trying to get to where God wants me to be. I'm
Listen.
trying not to leave anything on the table. Nothing on God's table that when I get in front of him that he's going to be like, you see that and you see that? I couldn't give you that because you
Yes.
weren't willing to let go of this over here or you got stuck in this season,
Listen.
right? Nothing.
No. And how many examples are in the Bible of God telling someone to leave their people and their homeland and go somewhere else, to disconnect from their bloodline and be obedient by physically uprooting themselves, their family, and moving from country to country? We're not talking about state from state. They're
Right.
walking across deserts and mountains, okay? Whole territories where he's
Right.
like, I can't bless you where you are. You've got to physically remove yourself. How many times in the Bible? I mean, we really need to look that up, where he couldn't bless the people in their own homeland with the bloodline. They physically had to be disconnected,
That's right.
right?
Right. Because we talked earlier about Lot's wife, right?
Mm-hmm.
But to that point that you just said, God didn't tell Abraham and Sarah to take Lot and his family with him,
There's that.
right? So, like you said, family, not family, friend, foe, frenemies,
Yes.
whatever in this season.
The dog and the cat, honey. If the dog and the cat are holding you back, let's talk about these codependent animals. Okay. Take them to a shelter, y'all. We love the animals, but honey, if they holding us back in any area of our lives, whatever they are, whatever, people, places, or things, they got to go.
This is the season for that. Don't sleep. Don't sleep on it. Don't sleep on it. This is the season for that. For the purging, for the trimming, right?
Yes. Yes. That preparation time.
The only way a tree can grow healthy is if it's pruned,
Mm-hmm.
right? And typically it's pruned of the branches that are sucking the life out of it because they're attached.
Real talk. Real talk. Come
So,
on.
whew,
Mm, mm,
yeah,
mm.
yeah.
Mm.
We take our own medicine on this show. Don't worry, y'all. We talking
Whew.
to ourselves
Mirrors.
all day long.
Mirrors. Honey, well, it's Tuesday. So you know what we do on a Tuesday? What we do every day. But what we really do on a Tuesday,
Yeah.
if you are new to listen, put it in the comments. If you are watching live or you watching on the replay, hit us up. What's your testimony Tuesday? We want to hear it.
Yes. 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 You got a testimony, Win? Just one.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. But no
Yes, we're in
show.
season 2, and I'm still telling you, pick just one.
Here we go. Here we go. 2 deep breaths. You might get a third. You might get a third.
I saw.
I'm going to be real and relevant, Tania. My testimony Tuesday is God and his infinite strategy, wisdom, sovereignty. I'm going to just put that all together like a little pot of gumbo because you know I love me some soup, okay?
I love it.
All together. My testimony Tuesday is today. Is today. 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 The series of events in which the master strategist has cultivated that has led up to the 12th of October.
Yes.
The series of events. The master strategist. Okay. As I'm just on this, just moving at my pace. Moving at my pace. Didn't know. Again, Kevin Hart. She wasn't ready. Didn't know. And God was like, this is going to happen yesterday. And I was like, what? Wait a minute. Where did that come from? Wait a minute. Wait. Pause. Let me check in. Right?
Right.
Had to hit you up and was like, I need you to pray because Scooby-Doo. This. Wait a minute. Where did this come from? Y'all, we actually, our group chat, y'all not even ready for our group chat. Anywho, listen.
No.
I was like, wait a whole minute. Okay. And when God told me this morning, make a call, I was like, what? No, wait a minute. Sir, wait a minute. Yeah. After about 15 wait a minutes.
Not the delayed obedience.
Woo!
Not the delayed obedience.
No, girl. Listen, as much as I had to gather my whole self. Okay. And the way God did it, so strategic. I need you to do this right now. And I had to because I had something else that was coming up at a time frame in which I had to be focused for. So the window of time in which God gave me to complete the assignment was brief. He didn't give me, you see what I'm saying? There was no bandwidth.
Yes.
There was no bandwidth. It was do it now. And if not, it has to be done because you will have no time. And for sure enough, there was not enough time in the day to be able to do what he had told me to do for Testimony Tuesday. So mission accomplished.
Whew.
Okay, honey, I had to get my whole life together. I was like, emotions had surfaced. I was like, wait a minute, where did this come from? Okay. Absolutely. Yeah. But again, like you said, it wasn't even about being stuck, honey. We're moving forward, but it wasn't even something that I was unaware that someone else had moved forward in. See that's a whole word within itself. Because Win had moved forward. She was forward. Oh,
Yes.
we forwarded.
Oh yeah. Oh
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. But it wasn't until making the phone call to realize, oh, oh, you
They're stuck.
I didn't know. I thought we had moved ED forward. Okay. Years. Uh, didn't know. But God knew. So I encourage you all, take a pause, check in, and God, hey, reveal to me, show me now that you've revealed this to me in the briefity, okay, I need you to do this. Show me every single area where I am not moving forward at your pace, okay?
Right.
And if there's anyone else that's stuck that I'm not aware of, again, because obviously God knew and I wasn't privy, okay? But today revealed on Testimony Tuesday where someone else was stuck and I had moved forward. And God said, this is it. This is it. About to pull that arrow back. You about to be released. You didn't even realize it,
Right.
right?
Right. That's good.
Okay. And the weight
Whew.
that was lifted because it was an emotional thing. And the weight
Yes.
that was lifted from that obedience, I was like, Tony Baker, like, she never knew. Like, I was like, I didn't know. Right?
Right. Right.
I thought, because I thought again from first season one, released, there was freedom, right? There was forgiveness. We're gone. We're
Yeah.
moving forward. God was like, wait a minute, somebody else is still not. And I was like, ooh, what? Wait a minute.
Right.
Okay. Okay. No problem. So this season is about getting yourself set free and those around you.
Yes.
And so the Testimony Tuesday, long story short, is that today, the forward fast forwarded.
I love that because God used you
Mm,
to, He partnered with you
come on.
to help unstuck someone else. And we just talked about that, about the divine partnerships, right?
Not even aware that you are being used.
Right.
Because here's that.
All the time. All the time. I think we're being used all the time,
I was
whether
like,
we realize it or not.
wait a
We're
minute.
always being used. God is always using us for something. He's even using my attitude. When I got attitude, he's like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna use that too. I'm gonna
Right.
use that. We'll
Come
use
on.
that later. We'll use that later. hmm That was
Mm,
good. That was a
mm,
good.
mm.
Whew, thank you, Jesus. That was a good testimony. Mine is, as you already know, but we just being real and relevant and transparent with the world.
Yes.
So that book that I really didn't want to write, and
Come on.
God said you must write, that I was blessed to get my edits back on that book. And so I am just so thankful because, as always, God, in His
Mm,
chess playing divine strategist self, had that email drop in my inbox at an exact moment in time
mm,
when
mm, mm.
there was some doubt going on.
I mean, the exact moment.
The exact moment.
Thought you thought it was late, but it was surely right on time.
It was right on time, as he
Mm,
always is, right on time. Because she could have sent that. Shout out to Miss the amazing Cat Harvey. Shout out
come
to
on.
our editor. She could have sent that at any time. And God was like, no, send it now.
Come on. Come on.
And so I'm so thankful for that. I'm
Mm,
thankful to
mm,
be
mm.
one step closer to publication, one step closer.
So excited. So
Woo!
excited.
Some days I'm excited.
Woo,
Some days
honey.
I'm excited.
I loved it. When it showed up, I just chuckled. Oh, what was the chuckle? Uh,
Mhm.
come
Yeah,
on.
yeah,
Like, oh,
yeah. And it was cute because she was even excited in the email. She was like, "Guess what day it is? It's
right.
the day for Tania's edits." I was like,
Good
"How
boy.
cute! God gave you a sense of humor for me,
Listen.
Mhm. For this moment right here, while I'm
Mm,
sitting right
mm,
here,
mm,
contemplating and doubting
mm,
so many
mm, mm.
things of, okay, God, did I really hear you? Did I really hear you
Right.
in this
Thinking that it's
season?
late, right? Are
Did
we
I
are we
really
late? Are
hear
we
you?
behind schedule?
Yes.
Mm, mm, mm.
Am I really doing what you told me to do in this season? Because to the outside, it is
Yes.
looking kind of crazy right now,
Come
looking
on.
a little crazy.
And it don't matter because
But
God,
God,
listen,
doesn't matter. Doesn't matter, as we used to say, a hill of beans
a hill of beans.
in our family. Doesn't matter a hill of beans. Does not matter at all.
Exactly. At
All
all.
that matters. All that matters is, okay.
Focus.
Blinders on,
Come on.
moving forward, and that's all I'm focusing on. God
Mm, mm,
is
mm.
where you were aiming my arrow. Where are you aiming my slingshot?
Right. Right.
That's all. That's all I got to be focused on.
I mean, Job's friends and his wife surely thought, hey, this is what we think you should do. You're looking
Right.
kind of crazy. You're looking kind of
Right.
crazy. And they told him, you're looking kind of crazy.
Right. And those people are many. There are many people that are quick to be like,
Come on.
you look crazy. Here's what I think you should be doing.
Whew.
All that matters in this season
Mm,
is, where is God moving me forward? What does
mm,
God want
mm,
me
mm,
doing?
mm,
So
mm, mm.
if you have a testimony, post it up in the comments. We would love to celebrate God with you. Truly, there is nothing too small. Whatever it is, put it in the comments. Even if you're watching on the replay, you can still post the testimony. We would
Yes.
love to celebrate with you, right, for what God is doing in your life in this season.
Mm-hmm.
So, ooh, next
Honey.
week,
Ooh,
next week,
what we gonna do? Listen, upcoming topics, honey, y'all. Stay tuned with us. Okay. Every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 Central.
yes,
Listen, it's gonna bless you. And we understand life happens. You might not be able to stay on the entire time. You might not be able to catch us live. That
yes,
replay still gonna bless you. No different than the live. Okay.
yes, next week. So
Mm,
if you have or know a high schooler,
mm-hmm.
a current college student, or one about to go into college, you are
Right.
not going to want to miss next week. Even if you, as an adult, are
Mm-hmm.
going back to college, going back to school. Next week's F word topic is financial aid.
Yes.
I know, right? Y'all are like, ooh, yes, financial aid, because
Completely different.
the
We thought it's simple. Yes.
FAFSA
Yes.
document is now live and available
Mm-hmm.
for college and incoming future college students. So next week, our amazing show producer, Danielle Davis, is
Whoop,
going to
whoop, whoop.
join us on camera. She's in the background right now. She's going to join us next week, though, because she is an amazing financial coordinator at Bowie State University on the
Shout
East
out.
Coast, but she's going to drop some wisdom and some knowledge on financial aid next week.
Yes.
So don't miss it. Share this. We're going to post it for next week. We'll post it on our Facebook page.
Yes.
So be sure to share it with every person you know that needs to get some knowledge and some wisdom on how to navigate financial aid
Mm-hmm.
for their education.
That's it. That's it. The higher learning resources, Danielle's a wealth of information.
Yes.
Make sure that you have like and share, invite. And so we want to make sure that you all are prepared. If you have questions, jot some down while you're thinking about it from today to next week. And definitely tune in. And if you're watching this on the replay and we're saying next week, that is Tuesday, October 19th, just in
Right.
case you're watching it on the replay. And that is going to be financial aid. And Danielle is going to give you an abundance of information, resources, and information. So don't miss it.
Yes, yes, because even though this show is all about God and all things God, God still desires even our financial life to be in
Mm,
order,
hmm.
right? So we're all about touching every area and every aspect of life: emotional, financial, natural, mental,
Right.
physical, all of that. So yeah, join us next week. It's going to be awesome.
Excited, excited. So thank you all for tuning in to season 2, episode 1, on Forward. And I truly hope, my heart's desire for you is that you take the time to really quiet yourself, tune in, check in, and ask God to give you direction on moving forward and what that looks like for you. Because again, we're all snowflakes and it's a unique experience and journey for each of us. So, what does that look like for you? What is God's will for your life in the forward?
Yes, and while you're doing that, you can meditate on the songs that we posted in the comments
Mm-hmm.
tonight.
Honey, honey.
Beautiful, God
Mm,
anointed worship songs on the importance of
mm.
moving forward, right?
Wow.
And then there's the scriptures there, which you can
Mm-hmm.
even meditate on those, apply those to your life, and even you can even do a search in the Bible for the word forward.
Mm-hmm.
There's more. There were more than just those two scriptures. I had to narrow it down. I was like, okay, God, show me which two, like
Oh,
which two, because
yes.
there's so many more, right, in different translations. So definitely take the
Mm, mm,
time, like
mm.
Lynn said, this is the season for it.
Yeah,
Don't sleep on it. Somebody's
yeah,
waiting.
honey, honey.
Somebody's waiting on your forward.
Uh, the life of the good Lord Himself, honey. He was always moving from town to town. I don't know how
Yeah,
many instances in the Bible that He went back to a place He had already been.
it wasn't too often.
Not that often.
It was
He
not
was
that often.
always moving forward. He was our living example. And so I encourage you all, please live a life of forward. Okay. And when you get in alignment, honey, you're gonna live a life of fast forward.
Right. Woo. Until next week, y'all. We will see you next Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central.
Yes.
Like, share. You can still comment. We love y'all and keep listening.
Listen.
Keep listening.